Copyright applies to the following verbal and written content. With the exception of the content owner, complete content excerpts and links may be used for nonprofit purposes only, provided that full and clear credit is given to the following names wherein: Diary Single Woman, Diary of a Single Woman, and Miss Anonymous. Appropriate and specific direction to the original content must be used. All rights are reserved.
Hi, I'm Miss Anonymous with Diary of a Single Woman. I hope that you have been enjoying my true erotic stories from my diary. Yes, I do have a lot more true stories to share with you. But in the meantime, I have a proposition for you. Yes, a proposition. I want you to take a journey with me. Take a journey into a mysterious, taboo, and intriguing world of sensual fiction. A world that offers a place for you to escape from your normal daily life. A world that expands your mind beyond boundaries. Beyond boundaries you never knew you had. A world where you discover intimate thoughts and feelings you thought you were incapable of. A place where you can indulge in nail-biting stories. Oh yeah, this is going to be so damn good. I'm writing this lustful, adventurous novel just for you. I've named this series as a tribute to the breathtaking trilogy that had us all glued to our books and movie screens. Well, fasten your seatbelts, or should I say unfasten your seatbelts, and get ready to live life on the edge. Welcome to 50 Shades of Red. Chapter 2, Part 2. As Ethan continues to forcefully walk me forward, we start approaching the mirrored wall. As we get closer, I could see us better in the mirror. Damn, Ethan is so sexy. He looked so handsome in his black tuxedo. I feel his lips on the back of my neck. Oh, that really turns me on. Ethan doesn't stop walking until my body is pressed against the mirror. With all the mirrors, I felt like I was in the open, yet I was enclosed by the details of what was happening. Suddenly, I felt the coolness of the mirrored wall against my plump, warm breast. Ethan still embracing me from behind. He pushes his body hard against mine. I felt a heavy bulge press against my ass. Ethan starts kissing the small of my neck and pulls my midsection inward towards him and slides his hands to the top of my strapless velvet Versace dress. He swiftly pulls the top of my dress down to expose my round, soft breast. He gently caresses my nipples, then takes each of my breasts into each one of his hands and presses them against the mirrored wall. Look at yourself, Keeva. I want you to stare at yourself. Look at what you've become. I can't take my eyes off of you. I can't take my hands off of you, Ethan said. As I stared at myself in the mirror, I couldn't believe what was happening. I had never seen Ethan like this before. He was unhinged. He was demanding. The coolness of the mirror turned my nipples hard. Ethan is staring at me in the mirror, his eyes fixated onto my face. I felt his heavy bulge start to grow. Say, "I'm beautiful" to yourself, Ethan demanded. "I'm beautiful," I said. "Say it like you mean it," Ethan demanded again. "I'm beautiful," I said louder. "Say it like you want me to slide inside of you and pound you," Ethan said. "I'm beautiful," I said forcefully. Ethan steps backwards away from me and begins to undo his pants. Although my back is towards him, I can see the front of him in the mirror. He was wearing black-colored briefs. His heavy bulge had now expanded. His steel was pressing full force against his briefs. I was surprised at how long his steel was. Damn, how will I be able to take all of that inside of me? I see Ethan move closer towards me again. As he stares at my face in the mirror, his hands slide up the backside of my thighs. He lifts the bottom of my dress up above my waist. He then glides my panties down just enough so that my bare ass is exposed. He starts kissing on my neck again. I feel the tip of his steel press against my ass cheek. His tip was extremely large as I continued to feel it through his briefs, pressing against my ass. He started caressing my ass cheeks with the palm of his hands. "I love the way you yelled how beautiful you are. Now, let me see if I can make you moan it. I want you to look at your reflection in the mirror and moan how beautiful you are," Ethan said as he continued to gently caress my ass. He started back kissing me on the small of my neck. With my body still pinned to the mirrored wall, I moaned, "I'm beautiful." In between his kisses and caresses, I continued to moan, "I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful." The mirror began to fog as my breathing became heavy and fast. More and more, my reflection started to disappear in the mirror as I continued to pant. The area on the mirror of where my face had been was completely out of sight. I felt the tip of Ethan's steel begin to throb. It had become more hard. I started to feel his warm steel milk leak through the front of his briefs. Ethan took his index finger and slowly ran it up the split of my ass. His finger went up and down. I was so aroused and so nervous at the same time. Suddenly, Ethan took both of his hands and used them to spread my ass cheeks apart. "I want in," Ethan whispered inside my ear. I became nervous as hell. I had never let a man enter into my ass before. Ethan's steel was way too big to allow him to enter me this way. Suddenly, through his briefs, I felt his soaked, milky tip caress the inside of my ass around the opening. I started to brace myself to receive him into my ass. I started thinking to myself, I'm not sure if I can do this. Ethan leans over to my other ear and whispers, "I like the old Keeva, but I'm starting to like this new Keeva a lot more." As I continued to brace myself for Ethan to enter into my ass with the tip of his throbbing steel, I suddenly feel his hands move down my thighs and grab my panties. He slides them back up. While leaning in towards my ear again, he grabs the bottom of my dress and pulls it back down and says, "As much as I would love to have your ass on a silver platter right now, we really need to get going so we're not late to the fundraiser dinner party," Ethan said. Wow, what just happened between us was so intense. Was this the Ethan I knew? The polite, open doors for me Ethan? He had become so aggressive in those moments. Everything happened so fast that I'm still trying to fully comprehend it. Ethan readjusts his steel inside his briefs and pulls up his tuxedo pants. The fog had cleared from the mirror, and I was surprised to see that my makeup was still intact. I slightly readjusted my hair, turned around to face Ethan, and said, "You blew me away just now." Ethan smiled and gently took hold of my arm and started walking us out of the mirrored room. I barely focused on the echoes caused by our shoes as I was in such deep thought of what just occurred. My breasts were still aroused from the sensations that Ethan's hands had erotically applied. My legs felt weak from the trembling I tried to hold in as Ethan still toyed with the opening of my ass. We approach the mirrored elevator. Ethan takes out a card and swipes it in front of the elevator sensor. The elevator doors open, and Ethan gestures for me to walk in first. The door closes, and just like before, the buttonless elevator started moving once the doors closed. And just like before, it was so quiet that you could hear a pin drop. The elevator stopped. The doors opened. We make our way down the plush carpeted hallway, being led by low-lit light fixtures, candles, and lavender scent. This ends Chapter 2, Part 2. Tune in next week for Chapter 3, Part 1, as Ethan and Keeva arrive at the fundraiser dinner party. Find out how Keeva readjusts from her intense experience as she begins to meet some of Ethan's private club members. Here's a question for you. Ladies, would you have given control to Ethan and allowed him to enter into your ass? Or would you have taken control and told him no? Ooh, that's a hard one, ladies. Gentlemen, would you have continued with your sexual pleasure with Keeva and arrived late to the fundraiser dinner party? Or would you wait and explore Keeva another day when there was no time constraints? How do you like your candy, now or later, gentlemen? You don't want to miss what happens next. Don't forget to subscribe. This is going to be so juicy. Yours truly, Miss Anonymous.